a Chinese man giving Nigeria police officers, uh, I don't know whether to call it stipend or he's doing giveaway. So Nigerians are reacting to it. In fact, this morning, the Nigeria Police Force, through their official handle on Facebook, announced that this office, they are condemning, in fact, the IGP condemns this act, just as Nigerians
Yeah.
are also condemning the act. So I have Dr. Oladonyode Bowale, who we are going to be looking at this together. We call him High Priest. High Priest, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Shagun.
So, I'm sure you must have also seen this video of a Chinese national doing giveaway, I mean, or charity to Nigerian men of the Nigeria Police Force. And I just want to ask you, do you think Nigerians are overreacting unnecessarily? Because what does this imply or portend?
Well, I will not say that they are overreacting. While I empathize with the policemen who have been dehumanized to the point at which they now have to line up to collect money or whatever from either a Chinese or a Nigerian politician, I think it is sad indeed. I'm not going to deny that this will be the first time that I'll be seeing something like this, because you recall that I was in the government until December 2023, and my office interfered with the policemen. In fact, I had some attached to my office. So, and I took steps to ensure that what was meant for the policemen attached to me got to them because of complaints. If I was involved in any assignment given to me by the governor, I will ensure that whatever incentives given to the police, not as bribes now, maybe, okay, if they followed us on a special assignment, maybe we took them out to clear the road, we took them out on special assignments, special duties, known to law, approved by the governor, then we always add certain allowances for them. Call it feeding, call it just anything. And it was not much. But I ensured that I used a manageable size, and whatever was meant for their unit commander, I will give the man who will be in charge. Whatever was meant for, I ensured proper documentation for those I took who worked with me. But the idea of recording this is what I think is what is reprehensible. The idea of recording this, forget about the amount. The idea of recording this is dehumanized, is not right.
Hmm.
It cannot be right in any clime, either in China or US or anywhere. It's not right. These policemen were taken out on an assignment, ostensibly to protect these Chinese individuals. So the questions that we may want to ask ourselves, one of them is, one, these Chinese nationals, why are they in Nigeria? What are they
Hmm.
doing in Nigeria that will warrant giving them a whole platoon of policemen? Especially at a period when we have face serious challenges concerning security. And the IG
Hmm.
just directed that policemen should move to Plateau State, just and elsewhere. If a Chinese person has this, you know, this number of policemen at his beck and call, and all he depends on is just this. I think this he did it deliberately. You could see that,
Hmm.
he did this deliberately, recording this
You have to
and
mock.
showing
Because
more.
one
Yes,
question is, would he do it to the Chinese police if he were there in his own country? Right?
they're not born in Papa well now.
Hmm.
They're not born
So
now.
this.
Who is this person? Pata Pata will be a construction technician. He's not an engineer. You know, China will not release their proper engineers to come and work with you. They are technicians, those serving prison terms. Those serving prison terms on hard labor, they will send them here to come and work hard labor, cheap labor. These are the criminals, these are the idiots we find around us. So that's why you find them. This one may be operating a farm, a cassava farm in Ogun State now, as we have many of them. If you're operating a cassava farm, uh, I agree. It's total failure of government. Total failure. You cannot have this number of policemen guiding just one person. Just look at him. Look at that. Look at the boy. Look at the boy. The guy who is distributing money, and he did not even finish the bundle. The 1,000 naira bond. That's 100,000 naira. He didn't finish it. For these human beings, this number of human beings, people's fathers, people's husbands.
High priest. Sometimes it's actually hard to judge or to lampoon these people, because if you know how much they collect as salary, perhaps it justifies why they are just open to anybody bringing stipends to them and using them the way they like this way.
Well,
What did you say about the salary structure for the Nigeria
I'm not
police?
going to say that they end well, but I'm also not I'm not going to deny the fact that at least there has been some kind of increase. At least while I was in office, there was a marginal increase under the Buhari administration. Then this new regime, I don't know if it only affected the superior officers, but I'm aware somebody very close to me confessed to me that, oh, I mean, DSP now is close to 300,000 naira or thereabout. That's a DSP. So, and I think it has calculated, it has gone down among the rank and file too. But we won't say that what they earn is much, considering the inflationary trend in the country, considering what they do.
Does this suggest that it doesn't matter how much you increase or you raise policemen's salary to, they will still engage in all these things?
No, this is attitudinal. This is an entrenched practice that we should all
Hmm.
discourage.
Hmm.
It is. I mean, it has nothing to do with the salary. In fact, the more the salary, the more propensity towards misbehaving like this. So I think the commander who was there, the DSP shown in the video, should have cautioned the man who was, I don't think they acted illegally, because the Oga, maybe the assistant commissioner of police in charge, must have will know about this. Because I mean, they won't just move out. Then ordinarily, because I don't know their beret, I can see red beret and green, but I know SPU, the Special Protecting Unit, the SPU is blue, So I don't know under whose command this mopole came out, because they are meant for a purpose. The Nigerian state did not establish the mopole to be following Chinese and Indians and Koreans all about as houseboys. No, they didn't establish this. They are afraid of kidnappers. Yeah, no problem. But are they even in Nigeria officially, legally? Many of them don't have papers. This is where Ministry of Interior should come in. The Ministry of Interior is not about issuance of passports alone. It's not about e-passport. That boy is making too much noise about Interior. You want to do passport to get it, you get it 24 hours. Where are you traveling to? Are you going to hell? Where are you going to? I'm not saying that he has not performed, on passports, but I'm saying that for this Chinese that have been operating like this, you saw what Benga Daniel did now, how he sold land in Ogun State to them. What have you heard of it now? Everything is gone now. Benga Daniel sold the desert. He sold the land and was pretending he's in the Senate. You see what they do? How they dispossess people. They bring in these people who are non-entities in their country. They bring them and they now come to. I'm not bothered about the fact that the man was trying to appreciate the men he took out, but it
High
is
priest,
humanizing.
High
Yes.
priest. If we analyze this video very well again, we are just the ones complaining. And
Mm.
I may also want to understand why we as members of the public or citizens complain. But you see, these officers are actually smiling.
Yeah, because
They
it's
are
a daily thing. It's a daily thing. I'm telling you, apart from their salaries, if they see any opportunity to do this, they consider it as some kind of good posting. Good posting, yes.
is
Because in
there
fact, many
implication? Is there any implication with this kind of thing? Because for instance, I'm looking at the demeanor. If anybody is available like this and is smiling that I'm giving him pythons like this, that person might be available to me for any kind of use. Should we be worried?
I think we should be worried. I won't say they are that they are available for any kind of use. No. I worked with them for 7 years. You see, they stood at attention, meaning that the commanding officer was around. I have somebody who is even more senior to the DSP may have been around, maybe an SP or a CSP. So you see, they were orderly, and because they were expecting to be paid, and the man did not disappoint. Forget about the amount. Maybe that is their daily, take home, and perhaps based on previous experiences, maybe whatever they gave out to them, you can be sure that the office must have been mobilized for these men to be out. Maybe this Oga from China wanted to ensure that whatever we want to give out to these people will get to them. You can talk about so many things. Look,
So even if there's a
the,
more decent way to give them this money, maybe they don't trust their office releasing it to them. Could it?
precisely,
So
precisely, it will not get to them. If you give, it will not. I mean, you a DSP, you go and ask an AC, an ACP, an Assistant Commissioner of Police, for the money that the Chinese, for the money that the Chinese gave. Then born you know fit now, or even the AC himself, because these people must have written to the commissioner of the state concerned, and the commissioner will now direct the area commander or the mopo commander or whoever, and assign commissioner of police, you know, to ensure that the approval was effected. And once that happens, you know, the other pata will not approve without consideration. The one next to him, I mean, the assistant commissioner of police will not leave the office to do this. Then he will now detail a DSP or an SP to follow them, because I mean, the number is considerable. You send them out, then they get there'll be a feedback. Then part of why I say this is not illegal is that the armorer, the person who we issue the weapons, there is always the document. I'm aware of that, or what the practice when I was in office. They will document the weapons, the ammunition issued, like that. So that when you return, also the armorer will get a welcome, we are back. But it is documented. It is documented. In fact, the policeman will prefer to lose anything than the weapon. Yeah, we prefer to, yeah. So there is proper documentation for all of this. But you see, on the whole, as laughable as this video is, as tragic as, depending on which side you may want to, it also shows that we have lost. That is, if we ever had it, we have lost focus. Police should be primarily to protect the civil populace. That's why you go to South Africa, you have police service. You go to London, you have Metropolitan Police, you have this. You see, the idea of the mobile unit, the mobile police unit, when they created that unit during the Second Republic under President Shehu Shagari, it was to quell riots, to ensure that nobody, because people were not demonstrating against MPN and like that. It was, the MPN under Chief Sunday Adeusi, the IGP then, was considered very partisan. So the MOPO unit was established for a purpose. They were not supposed to be found outside going after protecting Chinese. Then at a later stage, a special protection unit was also created for politically exposed persons. So it's from this special protection unit that you have those with blue berets, the ADCs, the governors, to senators, to Senate president, not senators, Senate president, speaker, the president. They are just as the military police will supply the ADC to the president, the one with the red beret, the military police. They have these special units and they have their purposes. But again, these money men, politicians and Chinese, and they also have a way of getting the services of these policemen and even soldiers for illegal purposes. Illegal in the sense, not that they take them out to go and kill, or no, or they go and beat people, but they will need the presence. Maybe a big man wants to take over somebody's land, or is fighting with another person on the issue of land. You just find soldiers coming to
To
intervene,
oppress.
to oppress, or you find policemen being used for it. But this one, is what we call show of force that the policemen or the those in the military, in the armed forces, often do. The show of force is to intimidate, to tell the potential, prospective criminals that we are here. Don't dare. Kidnappers, don't come near. They have us there, you know. And this guy is doing this open show of affection, payment for services rendered. You know, maybe he has an oga in the hotel who will need this video to show that these ones are just technicians and prostitutes. Which one are these ones? These ones are not important people in China. They are not. Most of those we find on the sites are convicts. Go and find out convicts. I'm not worried. They bring them in here and you now find our policemen, holding umbrella to protect them. It's so shameful. They don't have documents. I challenge them. Let them present their valid visa or the documents which permit them to stay in the country, let alone come and work. There is the expatriate quota. And I said it once on one of these programs that is permissible in law. Expatriate quota. You don't bring in foreigners to come and do what Nigerians are capable of doing. Chinese cannot be planting cassava in Nigeria. Nigerian government is roguish. You don't have those who use their brains again. That's why I'm getting tired of all this talk thing. They are decidedly against the people. You bring in Chinese to come and plant cassava. If you find an Indian in any business, they don't pay tax, they don't do anything, because even those who say they are in these tax organizations, they are just there to make things difficult for people. They are not for the people. That's why you can find this. This is shameful. This is a national disgrace. You cannot continue like this. And it will continue to be like this if we still retain the same structure of governance, which disposes us to waiting to share money, to share revenue allocation, gotten from a region, to share from what what we don't contribute to. Whatever is allocated will be stolen. It is the mentality of allocation that is affecting everybody. And let Tinubu continue to deceive himself, pretending to be the president of a country that is not working. Let them continue to juggle with figures, release our statistics. It's not working. We are not producing anything. Is it not clear? We are not producing now. So these ones coming into the country to come and do what Nigerians are ordinarily capable of doing, assuming our heads are correct.
I
If they are
priest.
into construction, yes.
At first, I should not be worried about this kind of video, because on daily basis we see our police officers display these kind of things on the road.
Mhm.
Yeah, taxing drivers, commuters on the road.
That's
They stop young
that's
boys.
another no,
Yes.
that's another one.
The
That
only
is it.
reason, yes, the only reason people are worried now is that now this is no longer like these are just some foreigners doing this to mock our police. And
Well, I guess this is mockery. Yes, I agree with you, because ordinarily we shouldn't know. Ordinarily, we should not know, because when they went to bargain, when they wrote application to apply for these men. They didn't make it public. So the
Mm-hmm.
idea of now making the payment public, I think, is mischievous. It's mischievous. I think there's a the purpose behind it.
Okay, but
It cannot be for us. The important thing is that most of our institutions are not created or are not sustained to serve the interests of the generality of the people. And most of them, including the universities. You see, I think we tend to focus on the police alone because I mean this one is what we see. It's so apparent. The universities are producing graduates that the system does not need. That is the truth. You have a military force, a police force, all of them, they are anti-people. When people talk about restructuring, they say, but I have to be accommodated into the oppressive clique. That is it. We have to a comprehensive review of our institutions. We show that nothing is working. We have children who are civil engineers. How much of the time, how many times have they been invited to participate in public works? How many of them are engaged when they go for NYSC, the so-called NYSC? You post them to where they are not needed, and you now ask them to go and be teaching physics and mathematics. So civil engineers, professionals, your own children. Then you have public works everywhere, pretending to be constructing roads and buildings, and your own children are not participating. So
hmm.
when these buildings even go, I mean, when they go bad, you need to bring in Chinese again. Rotimi Amechi was deceiving himself. He said he sent people to China to go and learn how to do railway. He sent them to China. Are they back now? Are they the ones, taking care of those rails?
So
Unless your children,
another point that raised curiosity is how Chinese are now the ones planting cassava for us. And it is
cassava,
not
yeah,
as if
they are the
it's
ones.
not as if it is not as if we don't have capable hands to plant this cassava, but
Oh,
they do not have this kind of protection to go to their farm
precisely.
because
I agree with
but
you. Precisely. As a matter of fact, if in your own village, you cannot plant anything. I was at Itasa with Femi Aborishade, Professor Femi Aborishade, and Professor Bayo Aborishade, and Comrade Femi Aborishade. I was in their village, Itasa. I was with Edmond Obilo and other journalists. We were there to go and see the illegal mining going on in that place. When we got to the place, we found several Fulani settlements. They have displaced the original owners of the land. Several. If there is going to be any war against the Southwest, it will be from that flank. It will be
hmm,
from that flank. We met Fulani young boys armed, who were given arms, who were given guns and cutlasses by this illegal miner. We were there. So
hmm,
it is not what we read in the papers. I saw. And I know that the villagers lack the capacity to withstand the onslaught.
hmm,
They can't go to farm. They have taken over the land. Fulanis are now selling land in Itasa.
hmm.
It's as bad as that. It is as bad as that. Quote me.
Is it not as ominous that in soon future we'll be looking at show of superiority in Southwest, for instance, between the Chinese and the Fulanis, like superiority among foreigners over indigenous.
Over the India, it is getting it has almost gotten to that stage. Because how else do you define a conquered space or a conquered people? Your local markets, your own people are not there. Your people are not there. Yeah, they are not in
Like
your local market. If they operate in your local markets, they are on the fringes, selling
mm,
useless things. They are on the fringes. Your own local representatives, so-called local representatives, take over your market from you and give to those they call developers with cocaine money. These cocaine people will come in and establish and be selling what you don't produce in that environment. They bring in fabrics, they bring in spare parts, they bring in imported materials. Then, of course, They want to destroy your youth permanently. So that they use that they'll be agbero. They sell tramadol to them. They give them
Hmm.
tramadol, they give them Colorado. That is the truth. Then the few same ones in that environment, you take it now, you have malaria, you go to any chemist to go and buy any drug, you are buying what will kill you, what will make you lose your kidney. You want to relax after making some money, you go and buy drink, you are buying poison that will kill you. How else do you describe genocide?
Hmm.
Then one legislator, one Kalu Okezi, was talking about indigenization. How after living in a place for 10 years, you become an indigene. So that when you get to, as they are killing them in Plateau State now, killing them and displacing them, as if we don't have a government. Tinubu is pretending. Then Nuri Badutu is pretending. That doesn't know that those who kill them stay in the land permanently. They are not going to anywhere. You kill 144 people in 14 days. You kill 144, you've been killing. And where you displace them, they are unable to go back to the land. You now be telling me about one IDP nonsense in Borno State. People will be pumping billions that people will be distributing. Say somebody is a performing governor. We all know the game. Now you stay in Plateau for 10 years now, you now be the owners of the land. You be the owners of the land by Kadu Okeze and others who are supporting it. That is it. It is worse than genocide.
High
That
priest.
is what they are planning. These Chinese will encourage even your own children to go into your farms to harvest your cassava to give them, because they know it is time bound. Once you uproot a cassava stem, you must start to process immediately, otherwise you lose them. They go bad. So they ask you to go into steel, then they buy from you to do ethanol. Even what you produce locally is not consumed here. They ship things out, and we have so-called governments, those who pretend to be in government, who blast siren everywhere because they collect money from the center. What they have not done anything to contribute to, they collect money. They say they have increased their allocation by times 3, so they get this allocation. They share, they distribute, they give workers who don't go to work, they call them civil servants, they give others who are on the standby, then they collect 1.2, 1.4 billion as a security vote, they share among them security chiefs, they do all of this nonsense, and that's what you call governance. Meanwhile, your own people who don't earn salaries from you are unable to go to farm. They're unable to even depend on themselves. Okay, they don't want to steal, they want to eat. They're unable to go to farm.
Hmm.
They are being killed, and you know it. Now it pays now to kidnap. Just arrange 5, scenario. Kidnap people 5 times in a month. You are a multimillionaire. You are made.
Hmm.
You talk about cashless economy. Cashless economy. People are paying 100 million naira as ransom. A general who was just released, General Siga. A fellow general said so that they got themselves together to contribute money.
Hmm.
The National Security Advisor has not come out to say the military said no, it wasn't like that. Am I to believe the official statement of the army and leave the one by the man who contributed money, who was announcing that okay, now that the man has been released, though we don't need money again. We are not receiving donations again. Is that not a fact that must be taken into account? Than the
Hmm.
general statement made by Nigerian army. So you see, we are in a state of anomy,
Hmm.
and whether we like it or not, we'll be losing focus if we now concentrate on the police, one institution, and leave other institutions that have been destroyed. The university has a place we call NUC. That NUC now determines all courses. They say they will go for accreditation. Somebody sits in Abuja and tells you that what you teach in the southwest must be what they teach in the north, in the northwest or northeast or anywhere. They want to standardize curriculum. Standardized curriculum. When our challenges are not the same.
Hmm.
They remove
High
history from the
priest.
curriculum. Yes.
A commenter on YouTube, Michael Fabanwa, I don't know whether he means it or whether he's just trying to be mischievous. He said Tinubu traveled the world begging for foreign investors. Now they have come, but you are now complaining. Like your president actually went to beg them to come. to come and
It was
save
yeah,
us.
please let that person, stick up that nonsense up his ass. Pardon my language in your program. Tinubu went for foreign investors. If they say you should come and invest, are they asking you to come and invest in cassava? Are they asking you to
Because
come and invest in cassava?
our
Wait,
people are no
Shegun,
longer able to.
don't let us trivialize this. Some people at a time when I was with Aketi went to China, and some people followed him. They went to the forestry, the forest reserve. They saw teak. They established Wewood at Ore, near the forestry. They signed a memorandum of agreement that they will produce locally, and they will employ indigenous of Ondo State. As a matter of fact, the government monitored the employment. They will employ indigenous of Ondo State not as drivers and gatemen, but as those who work in the place. So that's an example of foreign investment. But when you bring in these Chinese people, are people from China the only investors? Why are Americans not coming? Or people from the European Union? And why are those who come only take interest in oil and gas?
Hmm.
Why is it only oil and gas? If they are coming to invest in Nigeria, we have our farm settlements that criminals who say they are governors are now turning into housing estates. In the Ogun State now, everywhere is a housing estate. Most farmlands have been turned to housing estates.
Hmm.
So are they bringing a form of partnership in agriculture, livestock, or whatever? We have a problem between the farmers and the herders now. Are they coming to solve that by utilizing our ranch at Akunu or Auga and giving us money and employing our people, solving a problem, solving an existential problem? These are adding to the problem. Now, when you come into Nigeria, to come and be teaching my own children how to steal my cassava so that you can take abroad, as ethanol. Then you begin to do what local farmers who don't have the money, the kind of resources you have, you begin to do what they do. You are going to turn them to Okada riders.
Hmm.
You turn it to Okada, yes, and the Okada riders too, they won't be able to, as Okada riders, they won't be able to ride because those you are bringing in with you to the mining sites at Ilesha, to the mining sites at Zamfara, they are also with Okada and weapons. So at
Hmm.
their spare time, when they have their, when they are off from work, they compete with the local populace with Okada too. And when those ones want to do anything, they shoot them, they kill them. And
Hmm.
before you know what is happening, there is a police contingent to support you. That is what is happening. So when we isolate the police, we'll be losing focus. We'll be missing the point.
No,
All
but these
institutions
are
of state, all institutions of state have been destroyed, starting from the National Assembly, the Aso Rock. You just add from the sole administrator of Rivers State that boy Fubara, I call him a boy, he just turned 50, he's a boy to me. That boy he just gave 300 million to my association MBA, and those ones did not tell anybody. They didn't tell anybody until you do me, I do you. And they took the conference from Rivers State. So the administration said, okay, I have it on record. It's about 300 million. They asked, so it was a gift. They just gave you because you are MBA, because you are the only association. You can see all of these people. You can see. So how is it extra budgetary allocation? 300 million naira is a lot of money. The 300 million naira that you MBA collected from Fubara, was it from the budget presented to three members when MBA went to sleep? MBA went to sleep now. MBA did not say anything about three members, approving a budget for a state as Rivers
anyways.
State. Yeah,
Um.
people. I mean, mind you, as a member, because I paid 25,000 naira as my practicing fee to MBA. I pay 12,500 to my Ibadan branch. So 37,500 now is what I pay annually. And if I'm going to attend their year conference, where some of them don't even speak English, good English, some of those they invite are empty-headed. Yes, let me be arrogant for once. I'm still going to pay. So this conference is not for free. Bring the NBA president, that boy, to come and tell you why you should collect 300 million naira, and he'll still be arguing instead of covering their faces in shame. Return the money. They are arguing. So what I'm just trying to say is that every institution of state has collapsed. So to single out, look at primary education. That should be the most important in any country that is serious. That is where you
High
take interest.
priest, high
Yes,
priest.
Shegun.
Most of all these other institutions, yes, at one time or the other, we talk about them, but they are not as severe as this because perhaps the compromises that happen in those ones are not as open as this is international embarrassment, for instance. Like this is one window through which the world sees us, and
Yes.
it's worrisome. So, okay, it has happened already. How do we
Look,
begin to clean it from here?
Shegun, okay, I'll come to how we will solve this problem. You'll be deceiving yourself if you think that they don't see this place as a jungle. We are one young man assisted by another potentate called Wiki. One man was singularly chosen against all practices. No primary, no nothing. One man chose another opportunist. The opportunist became the governor. Now wanted to be an emperor. So on the could to turn now, turn by turn. Then they started their quarrel. This man he demolished a public structure. No consequence. No consequence. He demolished a public structure, no consequence. Then this man, as it has been established now, also gave 300 million naira to an association of hypocrites. 300 million naira, like that. Then Wike, he said, I made him. One man making another to be,
To
anybody is now
impose
talking
on
about
it.
on the whole state. And the other hypocrites who benefited from it, from Wike and all of them, they now want us to join them to be talking about what is right and what is wrong. You want me to interpret state of emergency, whether they should remove or suspend, whether it is right? That is rubbish. The most important is that what institutions of state will permit an individual who has not worked other than being a lawyer and not a successful one. Then from the time he became a chairman of local government council, I'm not abusing Wike at all. I'm not. But I'm just telling you, it is typical. Chairman local government, then chief of staff, then after that, minister of state, then governor, then now minister again. So then he has so much money that you tell you that I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did that. From your father's compound, from your patrimony. Then the ingrate that he chose to is that one is an ingrate. Let us speak the truth. All these senior advocates who went to collect money from Fubara should learn to speak the truth. That ingrate too, he got there. Then in order to have his own structure, power relations, then they started to fight, and it has now become our own. One man demolished a whole structure meant for the state, built with taxpayers' money. Nobody, NBA did not talk. One man for 2 years was spending money appropriated by three members of the House of Assembly from his own ethnic group. Other places were not here. It is only Natasha you want me to join to be talking about. I should be talking about one woman who says another man wants to sleep with her. Which man will not sleep with a beautiful woman? Me, I will make passes at Natasha if I meet her and she's beautiful. It is for her to say, I know do. So why do you want to waste my time over that? If Akpabio harasses anybody, let them sue. That shouldn't be our problem. But can you suspend a representative of a people for 6 months? Can you? So it's because nobody represents anybody. Can you do it? These are the issues. People now take sides depending on where they are expecting briefs, where they want money from. People, instead of them to look, we cannot continue to allow our lives to be run like this. The institutions of state have been compromised heavily. They work for individuals and not for the people. That is my point, Shegun. Now, going forward, the recruitment purpose of the police must be looked into. And I'm talking about the rank and file now. These are the ones you interact with. These are the ones who wait to pick people who drive into your BRT lane. These are, yes, the rank and file. It will shock you to know that most of them cannot read and write. This constable and all you see around. So you have a proper orientation. I think the police is also doing something concerning, because it now insists that the officer level should start from, I mean, it must be those from the cadet, cadre, from police academy. So you now have these young, boys and girls now coming into the police as ASP, and they, like that. Maybe over time, but orientation too must change. It must be a service-oriented organization. It is not force. Police force was useful during colonial regime. Police service should be the one that the people will look forward to. You want to call a small child want to call. When you see a policeman, you are not seeing fear. You are seeing a friend. You are seeing a person who assists you, not the person who compound your problem. That's when, I mean, the idea of having a platoon of officers following these Chinese all about is to instill fear. It's
If
not
you're
to
just
say, oh,
joining our
kidnapper.
prior priest,
You know,
no.
in,
Okay, we have you
it's
back.
to instill
Yeah.
fear. It's to say, oh, kidnappers, we are here to shoot you. Area boys who collect money, don't come here to do anything. Fulani S-men, we are also here. Like that. It's not to show anything. This video should worry President Tinubu, not the IG. This video should worry, should create some disquiet in Aso Villa. So there's nothing anybody can do. The IG, this current IG cannot